Yo, what's going on everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, sticking to the theme of the draft and videos about players in the draft, I'm going to be talking about Trevor Lawrence and why I think that he's honestly a once-in-a-lifetime prospect and a talent that does not come around very often. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a great NFL career, and in a minute I'm going to be talking about the reasons why. Now, I want to go ahead and break this video down into 3 parts. I'm going to break it down into first his measurables, the numbers that he put up in his stats in college, and then 3, another big reason why I think he'll do well is just his character and the type of guy he is. Anyway, without any further ado, any more rambling, let's go ahead and get into the video. Yo, real quick before we get into the video, just a quick reminder everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe. As y'all know, still a very young, growing channel, so just take a little bit of time out of the video to like and subscribe. It really helps me and it goes a long way. But yeah, anyway, thank y'all for doing that, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the rest of the video. Starting with Lawrence's measurables, he comes in at an insane 6'6", 220 pounds, which is just the perfect great size for a quarterback. I mean, just looking at him physically, height and weight, athleticism, I mean, he's simply built different. 6'6", 220, and runs a 4.7 40-yard dash. Like, come on now. That is insane. I mean, on top of this insane throwing ability, I mean, 4.7 40-yard dash, I mean, that's ridiculous from a guy that big. It makes him very, very difficult guy to stop, as we saw throughout his college career. I mean, not only was he just quick enough to, get away from defenders, I mean, he was actually a really good runner. In the last 2 seasons, he actually has the highest rushing grade among quarterbacks by PFF with a grade of 84.7, which is pretty crazy for a guy that really isn't known for a runner. That just shows you how versatile this guy is. That's going to be huge for him as an NFL quarterback because he's a guy that's so lethal throwing the ball that when you add that extra element, even at the NFL level, it's going to be very hard to stop this guy. As you saw, pretty much nobody throughout his college career could stop him. So his measurables are the thing that makes him just stand out from anybody else. And that's what made him stand out in college too. It allowed him to be the #1 player and quarterback in the class coming out of high school. So his measurables are just another level. And I think that is the baseline of what just makes him an insane once-in-a-lifetime prospect. With all the insane numbers that Trevor Lawrence put up throughout his college career, there is one stat that stands out to me more than anything else. 34-2. Yes, you heard me right. Trevor Lawrence, as a starter for Clemson, went 34-2 throughout his career. Only 2 losses in 36 career college games. That is just flat out insane. I cannot think of another player that has put together a winning percentage like that across 3 seasons. I mean, just flat out insane. And to a lot of people, wins are an overrated stat for a quarterback. But I have 2 responses to that. One, when you go out to play a football game, aren't you trying to win the game? Just listen to what Herm Edwards said.
Hello? You play to win the game.
And 2, I mean, obviously not the only player on the team, but if you look at Clemson this past season, Clemson only regular season loss, and the only regular season loss throughout Lawrence's time at Clemson, even though he didn't play in this game, was against Notre Dame. He lost that game. They play Notre Dame later on in the conference championship game. Lawrence is playing and they blow him out easy. So, I mean, that shows the kind of impact that he has to a team. And for a quarterback, I mean, they're going to be having the most impact on the team more than anybody else. So, to me, putting together a record like that is impressive and is definitely going to translate to the NFL level because he just has that winning mentality. Also, just looking at his numbers, 3 3,000-yard seasons. In his best season, his sophomore year, he put up 3,665 yards, 36 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 65.8 completion percentage. And I mean, just insane numbers throughout his career. 91.2 PFF grade in 2020, and PFF ranks him as the #1 draft prospect since 2015. So once again, that's ever since PFF started rating draft prospects. So he is just once again a once-in-a-lifetime prospect, and his numbers can go to show that too. Even if you haven't watched him play, just looking at his numbers, you can see that there have not really been any guys like him. Looking at just the kind of person that Trevor Lawrence is, this might be the biggest key to his success in the NFL. Looking at him in college, even going back to high school, you can see that he has always been a leader and always been the guy to step up on his team. I mean, just look at last season as a perfect example. He was by far and away the #1 quarterback, by far and away the best player going into the draft. And he had the perfect opportunity to opt out and just not risk injury and get ready for the draft. But no, he decided to play in the season. And not only did he play in the season, before the season coming up, he was a huge advocate for college football to be played during the pandemic. It just always, throughout his career, has been a big leader. I mean, always see him lifting up his teammates. You never see him getting down on the sidelines. That's a big reason why he was able to lead his team to so many wins, as I mentioned in part 2 of the video. And character and leadership goes a long way in the NFL. You look at a lot of guys who've been busts, like super talented dudes. Perfect example that comes to mind, and the biggest example, is Ryan Leaf. Ryan Leaf, super talented guy, but his character issues and obviously his off the field stuff is the biggest reason why he didn't do well in the NFL. And Trevor Lawrence has never had any of those concerns. Not only has he not had concerns, he's a guy who just great character, great leadership. And I think it's going to serve him really well in the NFL. And I think honestly could be the biggest key to his success, because the intangibles are something that you can't teach a guy. You can teach a guy to throw a football far and to throw football well, but you can't teach a guy to be a leader. Yo, thank y'all so much for watching. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about Trevor Lawrence and his NFL future. And also let me know if there's any other players who y'all think are once-in-a-lifetime prospects coming into the draft this year, or if there's any other players you want to see me make a video on like this. Yeah, but once again, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, Godspeed.